morning, welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you some predictions for the 8th of December. Welcome firstly anybody new to my channel. We've built a community of like-minded people who are currently seeing through the BS garbage and lies that we're all being fed. Well, pretty much we've been fed in the last 5 years, I would say. Also guys, hit the like buttons, don't forget to comment down below too, that helps me a lot. As well, and you know I love hearing from you guys as well. It takes me a day or two sometimes to get back to you because we're often on like different sides of the world. But I'm also having a lot of trouble with the internet here. They're relaying cables and there's NBN stuff going on and it's a little bit chaotic, and my daughter and I get really frustrated because we can't get Wi-Fi during the day when they're working on it. So bear with me guys, sometimes it's taking me a little bit longer to get back to your comments, but I do search for them because we know YouTube moves them around and plays around, takes my comments and returns them back to me, and don't even get me started on YouTube. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the admin. Oh yeah, I've got a little bit of admin, a wee little bit of admin this morning, guys. We've got Kate at the Christmas concert. We knew she was making her comeback. Well, we're starting to see more and more of Kate and Will. They're really being sort of pushed forward now. We know they are getting prepped for their roles as king and queen eventually. Still a mystery to me. It does look like her own hair. I could be wrong. She doesn't look like she's been through the cancer process. Maybe she has. I don't know. She's awfully thin though, I have to say. She still looks abnormally thin. I don't know how old she is, but she does look thin. And I know for most of us, as we get older, we tend to put more weight on and our metabolism slows down. And she's had 3 kids, so I don't know what is the go there. I still question, or we all question the royals a lot, the royal Kardashians I call them. And even King Charles, he's still out and about like nothing's even happened. And they keep saying, I don't know what they're saying in the UK news, but here they keep saying he's still having cancer treatment. So he's doing all these engagements in between his cancer treatment. Like, none of this makes sense, guys. And I know some of you out there are going through these things and you don't have the energy, you don't mix with crowds and the public because your immune system drops. So there's just no common sense in this, is there? Anyway, what would I know? The other thing is, oh, poor Elbow. Yes, he's under fire again. Yes, poor old Elbow. It's like they pick on him, isn't it? He is not popular here in Oz, I tell you that, guys. Because of I told you the other day, the Jewish synagogue fire. Arson attack, obviously, and we've had the spray paint on the cars in the Jewish neighbourhoods and all this kind of crap going on, which shouldn't be going on, as we all know these days. This is insanity. It shouldn't be happening. So Elbow's under fire for why isn't he stopping these things? Why isn't he causing this why isn't he putting a stop to this? And that's, I think, the big question a lot of us are asking globally too. Why is this not being stopped? Because as we know here, separate and divide. They want to divide everybody up. Hello, Sophie. Sorry, Sophie just came out. And I've got Sprocket here sitting with me as well. Of course, the doggos have to make a guest appearance, as usual. So they're calling that an act of terrorism, which it is. It's horrific. It shouldn't happen. People should be able to go to their place of worship, no matter what religion you are. And I guess we could also say something we've been saying here for a long time. This is starting to become about religion, isn't it, guys? Like, religions are being attacked. We know they want their one world religion, blah, blah, blah. But they're starting to highlight different religions and really separate. It's sad. Australia's never been like this. It's just sad. So Elbow's, again, losing popularity by the minute. And like they said on the news, really, we should be free to express our own faiths and religions. It's crazy. I just don't. It's such a, I don't know. We don't want to go backwards, I guess, is what we're talking about here, to the way things used to be, especially in Germany many years ago. Oh, it's crazy. Also, did you hear Trump's got a new fragrance out, guys? It's called Fight, Fight, Fight. I wonder what it smells like. If anyone gets a whiff of it, let us know what it smells like. How funny is that? He's got his own fragrance. Talk about market yourself really well. It'll probably fly off the shelves, I reckon. People, we could use a bit of that, us BS detectors, to give us a bit of oomph, couldn't we, guys? I'll tell you what, if I see it, I'm going to buy it. Oh, I love Trump. He's just classic, isn't he? He's just a classic. And of course, moving on to the Trump show, the Notre Dame Cathedral opened during the, I think it was yesterday actually, or during the week. And all the VIPs were there, of course. William was there, Willie. And Trump was there shaking hands with Macron and all the important people. But did you see the handshake with him and Macron? Oh, you got to have your... Now Sophie's peeing in the background. You know what my dogs are like? You know, they must entertain you guys. He was right over Macron's hand, like really dominant handshake. If you haven't checked it out, you've got to go see it. Like, he was like letting Macron know, I'm in charge, I'm the world leader. And he's not even taken on the role yet, has he? I loved it. It was so brilliant. He was letting Macron know he's not going to put, Macron's not going to put it over Trump. Oh, wait till you see the handshake. But it was wonderful to see the Notre Dame Cathedral. I told you my daughter's obsessed with Notre Dame Cathedral. I've bought her books and everything. She's got this real attachment to Notre Dame Cathedral because she loves musicals and she loves the things like that. But it was lovely to see it opened again because it was pretty horrific, that fire, wasn't it? To destroy such an incredible, I guess you could say, it was such an architectural incredible building, wasn't it? Like, I don't know how they made those buildings back then. You look at the things they make now and you kind of go, not in that category, that's for sure. And the other thing we've got to just quickly touch on as well, guys, is the UK. Pam, you've been really great. You've been letting me know about, guys, if you're interested in watching any of these videos, the bowler hat farmer. Got some great videos. He talks about this Bavaria Arla milk. I mean, there's lots of videos on it as well. But it's so good that you people in the UK are boycotting the milk and the dairy, the Arla milk and dairy. It's so brilliant. And again, again, it's a protest. It's a form of protesting. It's them saying, stick it up your, where, Starmageddon. We ain't supporting this chemicals and poison being put in our dairy. And the sad thing is, guys, it's the poor old farmers suffering again, isn't it? Because all their milk would be getting thrown and dairy will be getting thrown down the drain. It's idiotic, isn't it? Anyway, how about we get straight into the reading now, guys, and we'll see what comes up. Cheers to that, everybody. Let's see what the world's bringing. And if you haven't seen my 2025 predictions, I'll leave it over here, guys, because I know a lot of you are probably catching up with things. It's a busy time of year, isn't it? Right. I'm just getting Russia. We know. I keep telling you there's going to be more of Putin. And there is. Russia's really scrambling, climbing to the top. He wants to be the top of the mountain. I'm just getting that. It's going to be Putin, 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 Putin. He's keeping himself VIP, very important. He's just climbing to the top of the mountain of importance. We've seen a lot of him. And the year hasn't even clicked over yet. We're going to see a lot more of him next year as well. And a lot more of this handshaking, doing deals, getting people on his side, all this kind of stuff. So a lot more Putin. All right. Oh, and I just want to shout out too, I've got a couple of you in Africa that watch. And look, I don't get a lot of Africa. I get bits and bobs and little bits. But look, a lot of the things that are going on around the world affect all of us anyway. So I think we could pretty much go under the one umbrella. However, I do often say that Africa runs fairly independently. Because they've had a lot of damage before from people like Billy Goat, etc. in the past when they've been experimented on with... just saying, picky rule things, etc. So that's why you run. I'm not saying there's not a lot of corruption and things that go on in South Africa, in Africa, because there is, but I don't get it a lot. So no news is good news, guys. If I'm not talking about, that's pretty much a good thing. But otherwise, it all goes under the one umbrella, pretty much, of the global changes they're trying to push. Okay. New Zealand. Oh, I'm getting fight backs. Your farmers are going to stand up in New Zealand. They already have been in pocket little bits. But I do feel this is going to be bigger. I hope you're not going to get hit with this garbage next year, this chemicals in the cows. We know Chris Luxon's on the emissions bandwagon because he has to join in with the emissions because the whole world's trying to change the global emissions. All except the elites, of course. We always say that here. No, they don't. They're not involved in this. They don't cause problems with the climate change and everything. And even though they're the worst with their, we always say it, jet emissions, blah, 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 all their electricity they have on all the time, they probably burn their wood fires, everything. We know how it goes. But none of us little peasants, it's always our fault. That's what it always comes down to. We're causing it, guys. You know that. I've never heard so much rubbish in my life. I cannot believe that people fall for this, guys. Can you? I honestly can't believe that anyone is falling for that cow burps and cow farts. I just think it is the most insane thing I've ever heard. I can't even believe it. Anyway, just my opinion, guys. My videos are for entertainment purposes only. Take from them what you choose. All right. So that's what I'm getting for New Zealand, more stand-ups, but it's a lot around farms, You'll still get protests for wages. I feel people standing up, nurses, EMBOs, essential workers, wanting pay rises. I feel like it'll be after Christmas though. They're going to fight for their pay rise because everyone's overwhelmed at the moment. They're a bit busy. Oh, did I tell you, how we were having the Woolies strikes here for the supermarkets? I think Woolies has had to address them, guys, because our shelves were bare. So I think they've come to an agreement. So we might have some stock for Christmas now. The shelves are so bare at Woolies, guys. It's crazy. So sometimes worth fighting for because they might get their little pay rise, and only be a little pay rise. I wouldn't imagine it'd be anywhere equal to the CEOs, etc. So you're still going to get these in New Zealand too, the wage rise protests. They're showing me Trudeau and they're showing me Canada, and he's just ignoring the people again. He's really ignoring the people. He's just turning his back on the people. I'm seeing Trudeau jet setting all around the world, being VIP, very important, mixing with everyone who's important, being Mr. Important. We know that's what he wants to be, but not dealing with the people, peasants and Lego people of his country at all. He just turns his back on the people. He doesn't care what they think, what they say, what they do. And we know that through the Ottawa protests that he just stomped everybody out and just steamrolled over the top of everybody. It's going to take a lot in China to stand up against Trudeau. I keep saying it. It takes a lot of strength and power, and people have to do it en masse. It has to be done en masse. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. People have to really come together and form a very, very tight-knit group. We keep getting these freedom fighting kind of group messages about these freedom fighters. So I still think it's not an impossible task. Things can be done, guys. Things can be done. Things can change. He could easily topple off his perch, is what I'm getting. It's the matter of how. And I know it's very frustrating for people living over there. I know you guys tell me all the time, like, he gets caught out for all this corruption, all the stupid things that he's done and everything, and nothing ever comes of it. We know this is what happens in America, or has happened in America a lot during the old picky wheel and all that. Nothing ever comes of anything, and it's just so frustrating that people aren't held accountable. Well, Trudeau's another one of those untouchable, never held accountable kind of people. It's like he's out of reach. People can't sort of get to him. Sadly. Let's see what else we get. I'm getting China to tourism's improving a lot. I feel like your tourism's sort of coming back. Now that everything's more open borders, your tourism's really improving in China. That's one area that's probably doing okay at the moment, is the tourism. Certainly not like cost of living and small business and all that, but the tourism is actually, well, thriving. I suppose it's ski time over there and things like that. But I am getting that your tourism has improved a lot. People are sort of coming back. And the thing is, what you got to remember, guys, it's not hard for the tourists. Oh, yes, it's probably expensive, but it's not hard for tourists because they don't live there. They're not the ones being taxed on everything, going through everything. They're just people on holidays, so it's different. Like, people expect when they go on holidays that things are going to be expensive. It's like when we go to Europe or somewhere, you know it's going to be expensive, so you're sort of prepared for that. But it's the little people living in China that are really greatly affected by Trudeau's, I hate to use the word, crazy regime. We know that's where it's headed, turning and morphing into little panda, which is China here if you're new. All right. I still am getting in China, though, that people could boycott a lot of things. And, you know, that's something we've been talking about here for a couple of weeks, isn't it, guys? We do have our concerns about the picky wheel. And did this have an effect on people's logic? We know they're not in the mass psychosis anymore, but all this to us BS detectors, nothing makes sense. It doesn't even add up. But to a lot of people, they're kind of just accepting and going along with these things. But I do feel in China, though, you're still going to get people boycotting. Like, it could be like the milk thing in UK. You know, people aren't buying the milk. So maybe these sort of things are going to start happening in China now. Maybe that's how people are going to fight back against Trudeau, with this boycotting of the artificial plant-based foods I'm getting. We know that's a huge thing. I'm getting that sort of thing. So I'd say he's going to start really introducing a lot of things next year, and people are going to boycott it because they don't want it, because they never voted these things in. They never ran anything by, well, Trudeau never runs anything by the people. We know that. So that's how I feel like people are going to start to make a bit of a stance in China. They're going to boycott. Yay. And that takes a lot of courage. Well, the thing is, it sort of does and it doesn't. Like, people aren't as fearful to not buy milk or plant-based foods or whatever. Like, that's pretty easy, isn't it? Because it doesn't single you out, and you're not going to get thrown in jail and get heavy 10-year jail term and heavy fines because you didn't buy and support the lab-based, plant-based example. They call it plant-based. We know it isn't. Plastic foods that they're trying to bring out on us. And force us to eat the bugs and all this bug chips and all that. Well, the boycotts, that's what I'm getting for China. So that could be coming next year, guys. All right. Well, here's those noisy galahs again. All right. They've got to be the baby galahs wanting food, haven't they? They're very squawky. I'm still getting that pandas creeping forward still. It's still creeping. We know it's trying to get a real foothold in a lot of islands, countries around the Pacific. Well, it's got a foothold in Australia, without a doubt, thanks to Elbow. So we're going to hear more about panda too. Just taking over. This is how they work. They just creep. They're like a creeping ooze that just creeps. That's what I'm getting. We're going to hear a lot more about panda next year as well. Well, buying everything up, getting control. We know that Xi Jinping wants to be the superpower of the world, not just the region, of the world. God, could you imagine that, guys? Can you imagine all our countries just being run like, we'd all be like little soldiers, just all looking the same, which is their ultimate goal, really, with this crazy agenda anyway. But imagine Xi Jinping in charge of every country. I tell you what, he's really getting his little tentacles and claws in, though, around a lot of places. So we're going to hear a lot more about him as well. I'm still getting Korea's in a lot of unrest, civil unrest. There's still a lot of confusion in Korea. That guy, there's a lot of talk about the martial law, that guy's come out. There's a lot going on in Korea still. Turbulent times still ahead for Korea. I don't think this dust has settled yet. This is still going to continue. Watch this space. You're going to hear more about Korea. And and turbulence within its own country. We're getting more of that confusion, fear. I'm just getting that. Korea, we're going to hear a lot more about Korea. Because they've been pretty quiet for a long time, haven't they, guys? Really, if you think about it. We're going to hear more from them. Oh, getting England's rising. The UK's still rising. I know you got farmer protests, but you also got people protests. We know you've got your petition that's got over 3 million signatures, etc., to get Starmageddon voted out. But I am still seeing, I don't think he's going to be in for long. I keep saying that. But I am seeing people still standing up. There's still going to be protests in the UK. And it's going to be, it's not you're still going to get plasticine protests, blah, blah, blah. But this is the people standing up for their human rights. This is about cost of living, immigrant issues, two-tier policing, all this stuff that doesn't make any logical sense to anyone. People in the UK are really waking up and standing up. So you're going to get a lot more of these protests. It's so good, isn't it, guys? They're showing me Australia. And we're still the giant petri dish experiment. I always say that. During the Picky Wheel, we were a very big part of the Fauci, Bill Gates, etc., etc. petri dish experiment. And they're showing me Elbow with his petri dish, with his little eyedropper thing, or his dropper, dropping things in. I feel like we're still being used as guinea pigs down here in Australia. Other countries as well. I feel like we're going to get a lot of things pushed on us by Big Pharma down here in Australia. We were getting the Moderna factory built here in Victoria. Everything happens in Victoria. Yes, where Melbourne is, the most lockdown city in the world for 2 years. Oh, how do you lock a city down for 2 years? Or a state down for 2 years? But people fought hard to get their freedom back down there. I've told you about that video on YouTube. Go check it out if you haven't, called Battleground Melbourne. It's absolutely brilliant. Very eye-opening of what went on down here in Oz, because we don't want to get to that point again. But I am getting that Elbow's using us as a giant petri dish. Whatever he's up to, it's a lot to do with Big Pharma. I'm feeling a lot of forcing, maybe mandates. Elbow might be looking at mandating certain industries again. Oh, God. This can't be happening, guys. It's the immortal CV virus. But I am getting this. I know a lot of you guys are getting those stupid bird flus and they're killing all the birds and the chickens. I just don't even get these straight out lies that we know are all feeding the agenda and the bloody... just all their narrative and garbage that they're trying to create. I do feel like we're a petri dish experiment still down here in Australia. Elbow's up to something, and of course, and I'm getting in brackets, China's involved, Panda's involved. Let's hope they're not building a Wuhan sister lab down here. That would be frightening. But it wouldn't surprise me if they were building some sort of lab to do their little petri dish experiments. It's quite possible. So I am getting that. Elbow's allowing us to be the guinea pig experiments still. Oh, God, it just never ends. Oh, and the only one making money out of it all is obviously the global elites and the people like Elbow, etc., our leaders. And Big Pharma. Big Pharma seems to be just killing it all the time. I tell you guys all the time on the news here that Big Pharma's always got something going on the news. Like you can get your double jab, you can get your triple jab, you can get your RSV, then you got the measles, then you got this, and then you got that, and then you got the shingles jab. It goes on and on and on. They can just milk this for whatever they want because the fear in people is still there. A lot of people are still in that mass psychosis when it comes to the picky wheel. We know that, guys. People get very, very frightened. Oh, my God. It's mental. I saw someone in a mask again the other day. What are we, 5 years on, guys? I know you would have seen them too. And I just look and I go, you have to be living on a different reality to the rest of us. Like, us BS detectors are not on that reality of the mask wearing events, are we, guys? I could not think of anything worse than wearing those masks. I just don't get it. I bet they probably still have to in hospitals, do they? I don't even know. Oh, it's just awful. But yes, when you see someone in it, you just go, oh, you're still there 5 years on and you're still stuck in that moment. And I know some people are still seeing people driving around in cars on their own. Like, what even is that? What, you're scared of your own germs? Like, what happened to natural immunity, guys? No one talks about that, do they? Oh, no. All right, guys, how about we pull some cards? Enough of me prattling on. Such a beautiful day out here. We're having a lovely summer's day today. It's supposed to be very hot today. Let's pull a Queen of the Moon Oracle. Get a little bit of guidance through this absolute circus show that we're still going through. Why don't they just let us be free and live our little simple lives? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all, actually. The unexpected. I guess with that person leaning on that other person, you're sort of waiting for the unexpected, aren't you? Maybe that's what the awakening is going to be. We're looking into the light. Look at us, guys, watching and waiting for something to happen. It is happening. Like I say, people boycotting things, that means people are waking up. Look at the milk thing in UK. It's awesome. That means people don't want to be poisoned. Oh, and we knew they'd go through the food. Of course they would. Do you think, honestly, guys, I know a lot of you here, do people really believe in all this climate change garbage? We know we've got the Extinction Rebellion protesters and all that, but nothing makes sense. I don't even know. Boundaries. Oh, that's for us. Keep protecting yourself, guys. Look at the bubble around her. Very important. Just stay safe, especially when people are waking up, because they're going to be angry. We talk about that a lot. They're going to be hurting. They're going to be angry. Just keep protecting your energy. As sensitive souls, it's very important that we really look after ourselves, guys. I know I repeat it a lot, but it's so important. It's very easy to attract, rather, energy vampires who tend to take our energy, treat us like fools, and then just discard us. So it's very important to stay in your strength and power. Let's pull an affirmation. Let's get some affirmative guidance from the guides and the cards. Oh, I've got to put the specs on, guys. The writing's too tiny on these. What picture have we got? It's like a lotus kind of thing, like a flower, isn't it? Nourish. Examine what areas of your life have been neglected. What can you do today to bring more self-care to these areas? Interesting. And that's not only about nutritional food and not letting poisons and toxins be in your body. Because a lot of us grow our own organic vegetables, fruit and veggies and things like that. But nourish is also about, it's sort of nurturing yourself, replenishing your energy. Like being out in nature is very nourishing because it clears your mind, it clears the clutter. Spiritually, I think of when I think of nourish, it's like filling up your like fruit bowl, doing the things in life that fulfill you, make you feel whole. And self-care is, of course, self-care is about just maintaining your sort of standards, and not being dragged down to a level where we don't want to go, of being, I guess, brainwashed, but tricked and fooled into things too. Like, really stay in your own truth and honesty is what I'm getting. Let me see if there's anything else to finish off with today, guys. Oh, I'm getting that song. I got it the other week by The Church. I don't know if you guys know The Church. They're a good band. And I'm getting that song. I think it's Starfish. I got it the other week. We're meant to play that song, guys. Go, go now, you've been set free. Nothing on you calling on me. I'm sure it's Starfish, that one. And it's about being set free. We've been set free. We set ourselves free. Didn't we, guys? We chose not to go down a path of lies, deception, dishonesty. We chose to take out and forge our own path. I say that all the time. As the braveheart, freedom-fighting, maverick, rebel, renegade, BS detectives, we always try and forge our own path forward, don't we, guys? And that's not easy. We always come up against a lot of resistance, whether it be with people, with government, but we always manage to use our machete and cut our way through, don't we, guys? And that's hard work sometimes. It's hard work. No one's saying that the spiritual path is easy, because it isn't easy. It's challenging. All right, let's see if there's anything else. I'm getting that George Michael song, Freedom. Freedom, freedom, gotta give what you take. I love George Michael. I know I've got a lot of you fans out there that love George Michael too, so I'm getting that song, Freedom. Hang on. Oh, I'm getting that song by the Beatles, Help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. Now I'm not so selfish, or I never know to change your mind. I've opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. Not sure why we're getting that song. I'm just getting that song, Help, by the Beatles. I love the Beatles. They had such a variety of music, didn't they? They were so gifted for their time. It was all very simple, but it just had, their music had a great frequency vibration, didn't it? Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, I'm getting that song by who sings it? And if you leave me now, you take away the very heart of me. Ooh, don't ever, please don't go. And I'd say that's about your heart transitioning too into that awakening process. It's either who sings it? It's not Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's the other. Who is it? Now I'm getting Casey and the Sunshine Band. Oh, like I'm getting all confused. I always get these two muddled up, guys. Oh, hang on a minute. Babe, I love you so. I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. Please don't go. Don't go. Oh, I love music. Music's so great, isn't it, guys? Sorry, I get you all muddled up, don't I, out there? Let me see if there's one more thing from the guys, and then we'll finish it up. I'm getting that song, You've Got a Friend. I love that song. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yeah. I guess that's something that we all have been through a lot. We felt quite lonely in this process. Like I said, the spiritual path's not an easy path to navigate. I know, Chris, you and I talk about that a lot. Sometimes the loneliness. I know Louise. Oh, shout out Louise. I hope your hubby's feeling better too. Louise, we've talked about that, losing family and friends. We've had to endure a lot in the last few years, and it has felt quite lonely. And I know some of you have joined my channel here, T. There's a lot of you who have gone through these processes as well. So I guess we've sort of found each other here, and we do feel like we've finally got some friends through this crazy process and journey. So I'm going to leave you with that song today. Who sings it? Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. You've Got a Friend. Oh, that's so cute. And of course, I'm getting the one from Toy Story too. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. I love that song. And I love the movies, Toy Story movies. If you haven't seen them, go watch them. They're just fantastic. I love it. Just, it's so beautiful. Just, I love Toy Story. There's so many great meanings in there, isn't there? So this is all about just, just knowing you're not alone, I think, is what the message the guys are trying to. Oh, and of course they've got to give me Michael Jackson song, You Are Not Alone. So I'm going to finish on that note today. You are not alone. Well, we've all got each other, us awake folk. Just because we don't live near each other, we still connect with each other, or we try to. YouTube doesn't always allow it, but we do try our best to stay vibrationally connected. So have a great weekend, everybody. I'll say goodbye from me and the birds. The doggos, I don't know where Sophie is. I've got Sprocket here. I'll show you Sprocky. I know you guys get a giggle at Sprocket. Have a look at him, would you? He's got to be right on top of me. Look at that. That's a specimen, that is, that dog. Oh, there's Sophie right down the end. Look. Sophie. Sophie, come here. No. Digging a hole as per usual. Alright guys, I'll say goodbye from Australia. Don't forget like buttons, please comment. Have a great weekend and I will talk to you very soon. Take care everybody. Bye.